to this computer. Okay. Hi, everyone. So today we're going to be talking about our new podcast, which is called Echoes Mental Health Journeys. And my name's Sharon, and this is Christina. We thought about talking about something called echoes because they're the stories we really hold on to. They're the stories of our friends, the stories of the people we hear about or meet and while we pass the streets. They're the echoes of all of our experiences, and they help us to understand ourselves and the world we live in. And we need these stories, I think, to guide us, to teach us, and to motivate us, and to keep moving forward so we can live our best lives. So, welcome to Echoes. I want you, and I can't wait for you to take a journey with us. We're psychotherapists and counselors, Sharon and Christina, as we navigate mental health diagnoses. And we're going to have hopefully some insightful discussions that are going to be intriguing, engaging, and very informative. So, for our first podcast, we thought we'd focus on mothers and daughters since it is Mother's Day coming up. And Christina, I don't know if you can introduce yourself, and then I will ask you a couple of questions about you as a daughter.
I'm Christina. I am a counselor, and I'm really excited to be talking about mental health journeys with Sharon. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So, Christina, why don't you tell us what is the one thing your mother has taught you about mental well-being?
She definitely has taught me to take care of myself and do like self-care days. That was something that was really big when I was younger, is we would do like little self-care days with just me and my mom.
Oh, that's awesome. What kind of self-care did you do?
We would go to Barnes and Nobles,
Ooh,
and she let me get a book. She would get a book. We would stop and get like hot chocolate from the little cafe in Barnes and Nobles, and things kind of a lot like that. We would watch shows together. We still do, actually.
are you both pretty good readers? Is that what it was that connected you to Barnes and Noble?
Yeah, mom's a really avid reader, and I've kind of like gotten that love for reading as well.
Mhm.
Um, we actually just did Saturday. We went to Barnes and Noble together, and I got a book, she got a book, and when we're done reading, we're gonna swap books.
Oh, that's so amazing. So for you, your mental health with your mom involved reading, which is
Mm.
so positive and productive, and it kind of led into your adult life too. So is that part of your ritual for Mother's Day is that you go to Barnes and Nobles now, or is it changed that you're older?
I guess it's kind of stayed the same, especially on Mother's Day. We kind of let her do her own thing, but we also like to go to Barnes and Noble together, so it's kind of like a little back and forth.
Oh, so you give her a little bit of self-care too, like you send her out for something. Okay, that's awesome. So with that being said, how do you see your mother's mental health impacting your own family?
Um, hmm.
Like, how did she impact your brothers and sisters, if you have any, or how did she impact your current relationship? Is there anything that you can pull from when when you lived at home with your mom?
Um, she was kind of like she's the rock of the family in a way. Um, she mentally is extremely strong, and even when she like does struggle a little bit, it's not difficult. She is very good at kind of bringing herself back, and even if not, like us talking to her helps.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um,
So she was kind of like the rock of your family, pretty
yeah.
much. Do you feel that's important for moms in particular to be rocks of families, or do you feel like dads can kind of do that too?
I feel like either can be the rock of the family. It kind of just depends on like the parents and how they see, their family and what they want to do and things like that.
Yeah, and the family dynamics and everything, right? And
Yeah.
what do you think were the biggest challenges that either your mom or just moms in general face being a mom?
I feel like moms in general face doing like 20 jobs at once, like taking care of the kids and like doing a lot of the grocery shopping, cleaning the house and things like that. because I know with my parents, my dad works really weird hours. So he goes to sleep early.
Hmm.
And so with my mom, she like does a lot of the cleaning, and my dad's helped a lot. But I feel like moms in general, they have a whole bunch of different jobs, and
Hmm.
it's not just like one. It's like, oh, the mom hat, the her job, her like grocery shopping and things like that.
So moms have like multitasking, like they have to be able to multitask in
Yeah.
general. And how do you think that affects their mental health?
I feel like it could go either way. I definitely think that sometimes it could be like, "Ugh, I have to go grocery shopping after I get off of work, and it's like
Mhm.
exhausting. And then
Yeah,
other times it's like a sanctuary, like, oh, I get to go out and I get to go grocery shopping and I see a really cool snack and I'm gonna grab it and we're gonna try it.
yeah, yeah. Do you think that's one of the main things that is important to being a mom, even is to multitask? And, or do you think like, it's not as important?
I feel like it's important to be able to multitask just because you can't just do one thing at a time. Like there's
Yeah.
always multiple things that like a mom has to do.
Yeah, you have to think of especially when you have more than one kid, right? I think
Yeah,
that's like a big deal.
my mom has four. There's
Oh
four
my
of
goodness.
us.
Yeah. So
So
that must have been a big challenge growing up and how she managed to still find time just for you,
yeah.
going to Barnes and Noble and stuff. So did she have that like little bit of time for each one of you, like a separate thing that she did with each one? Because I'm sure all of you don't enjoy reading, right?
No. Well, me and my sisters do. My brother, like later in like when he was a kid, no, he did not care for reading.
Right.
But yeah, my mom would find something for like all of us to do. Like she would take my brother out to eat or my sisters to the mall if they didn't want to go to Barnes and Noble. Like we all had our own like day with mom.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So not only did she multitask, but she figured out what each of you liked, and then
Mhm.
she kind of connected with that. So I
Yeah.
guess each one of you was like a piece of her that she kind
Mhm.
of connected with in some way. That's really like heartwarming and sweet. You have like the best mom ever. So how did you support your mom's mental health when you were younger, if you even thought about it? Or do you think about her mental health more now that you're a counselor? And, how do you support her today? So I guess how did you support her in the past if you even thought about it? And how do you support her today?
Um, in the past, I guess I didn't really think about it. I would mostly just tell her like I love her. But now it's kind of like I still FaceTime her sometimes, and I'm like, "How are you doing?" Um, and I still work with her at my other job,
Oh,
so
cool. Okay.
being able to like see her and like talk to her then is also helpful.
Uh-huh.
I definitely check in more now than I did back then.
Hmm.
Um, and it's mostly just like talking to her, letting like
Yeah.
about the day, nothing like specific, but you
Hmm.
can see that it makes her like happy.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you think that helps that you're a counselor and you're able to like tap into
Um,
that, or do you not think about it? It just like you would have done that anyway.
I think a little bit of both. I
Hmm.
think I would have done it anyways, but I also think as a counselor, I like get more out of her doing like the skills, like just like
Hmm.
empathy and listening and like reflecting. I don't think she realizes that,
Yeah.
but
Right? That's so true. That's so true because you do it like naturally. It kind of comes almost like she's a client of yours, but you're doing it subconsciously.
yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. So, over time, how has your perspective of Mother's Day changed?
Uh, Honestly, when I was a kid, it would be like, oh, spend time with mom. Like, let's go do something. Let's hang out. Let's make you food. Let's do this. And now it's kind of like, let you have a day. You sit in your room. We'll get you food, any food you want, and you just do whatever you want for the entire day.
Oh, so you're kind of like switched it from like, hey, let's do like what we think we're supposed to do versus what you want to do.
Yeah.
Aw, I'm sure she appreciates that.
I still get her little gifts and stuff, but it's like, okay, here you go. Go
Yeah.
rest.
Yeah, go rest. Now you don't have to do 1,000 things today. It's okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So what is your favorite Mother's Day memory that you have?
Hmm. I don't know. I know
There's
there's
so
like
many. There's so many.
there's so many. I think one of my favorites is when we would all just like watch a movie together and we'd get like fast food.
Oh yes, that's always the best because it's the yummiest too.
And we would let her pick a movie and we all just kind of like watch it and then we let her like go. She likes to do her nails.
Uh-huh.
So we'd be like, go do your nails.
Oh, so cute. Okay, so one of the final questions I have for you is what would you tell your mother if you could only say one thing about how important she is to you?
That she's my best friend.
Oh, it's so sweet. That's awesome. So awesome. So finally, personally, these are directed really to you personally. What are some things you've learned about mental health from observing your mom?
That it's important to talk about it if you're struggling and to not hold it in because that's not healthy.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Hmm. And so to really talk about it, to get it out there, to have a
Mhm.
discussion and not like bottle it up inside so it festers.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's really good advice. And then finally, what are some ways you would like to be more mindful and present in your relationships with your mom? Or what would you like to tell our audience?
To just be with her. Like, I don't really, I'm not on my phone when I'm with my mom as much anymore.
Oh,
I'm definitely more present. And when I'm at my parents' house, I'm like, and everyone else that goes to bed, I'm like, do you want to watch a show or do you want to go to bed?
mhm.
And usually we'll like watch a show together. Um, but definitely to be present. Like, if your mom asks you to play a game, but you're on your phone, I would put the phone down and play a game with my mom because I think it's important to show moms that like you still appreciate and love them. Not that like you don't have to say it all the time, but like by little things like helping them cook dinner.
Oh, that's awesome. So I think thank you so much for doing this podcast with me, Christina. And what I think I've gotten out of the podcast from just talking to you is that moms are awesome, first of all. They're so multi-talented and multifaceted, and they're able to do so many things and wear so many hats. And for Mother's Day, I think, it's coming up in the next couple of weeks. From talking to you, what I've got out of it is that we need to be more mindful of just being present with our moms every day, not just on Mother's Day, but every day, because we only have one mom. And another theme that I heard from you was that you talked a lot about gratitude in different ways and how much you love her, how much you enjoy spending time with her, and just even being in the present moment with her is a form of gratitude to her and kind of telling her, hey, mom, I value our time together. I want to be there with you. I want to experience every moment with you while we're both here on earth together. And I think that's so heartwarming and so valuable for our listeners to hear that, that's the two takeaway things is I think be mindful of your time with each
Mhm.
other while we're here on earth. Live in the present moment and have gratitude and just allow your mom to be your mom and just be happy that she is who she is and value her. So thank you so much. It was great talking to you. I have a lot of perspective now after talking to you, and I think our listeners have too. So next time we're going to focus on the mother's perspective. So today we kind of focus on the daughter's perspective of Christina being the daughter and how she feels about her mom and her mother, her experiences with having a mother. And next time we'll talk about motherhood and how being a mother, affects motherhood in general, how mothers handle things. So I'm excited to do this podcast again, and I will see you next time. Bye from Echoes.